It's been over 2 decades since Sex and the City first glamorized friendship, fashion, and fearlessly frank conversations on HBO screens. Whether you were Team Big or rooting for Aiden, swooning over Carrie's column, or living for Samantha's sass, this iconic show wasn't just entertainment, it was a cultural reset. Premiering in 1998, Sex and the City gave us 4 unforgettable women navigating life and love in the Big Apple. But time has marched on, and so have they. So where are they now? How have they changed on screen and off? Grab a Cosmo, slip into your favorite stilettos or slippers, we're not judging, and join us as we revisit the fabulous foursome and their co-stars in a then and now look that's equal parts nostalgic and revealing. Sarah Jessica Parker as Carrie Bradshaw. She made her Broadway debut at just 11 years old in The Innocents, and not long after took center stage as Annie. Yes, that Annie. Her early film days in the 90s featured standout roles in Footloose and Firstborn. Then came the 90s, where Parker brought her quirky charm to big screen hits like LA Story, Honeymoon in Vegas, Hocus Pocus, Ed Wood, and Mars Attacks, each one adding a new layer to her growing stardom. But of course, the world truly fell in love with her as Carrie Bradshaw, the witty, wardrobe-loving columnist in Sex and the City. Her on-screen presence wasn't just a trend, it became a movement. She brought Carrie back to life in Sex and the City 2008 and its sequel 2010, and the revival And Just Like That, which kicked off in 2021 and is still running. Beyond Carrie, Parker kept exploring new stories, starring in rom-coms like Failure to Launch, Did You Hear About the Morgans, and the holiday ensemble New Year's Eve. She even revisited her spooky roots in Hocus Pocus 2 in 2022. On the small screen, she popped up in Glee and later starred in HBO's Divorce from 2016 to 2019, showing off a completely different side of her acting chops. Today, at 60, Parker still knows how to command the spotlight. With nearly 10 million followers on Instagram, she remains just as influential, whether she's on a film set or walking into the Met Gala in something unforgettable. Kim Cattrall as Samantha Jones. Remember that iconic rooftop scene where she confidently declared, "I love you, but I love me more"? That moment sealed her status as a fan favorite. But Cattrall's path to becoming a fan favorite wasn't overnight. She made her film debut in Rosebud in 1975 at just 19. And through the 80s and early 90s, she built a name with a string of cult classic roles like Porky's in 1982, Police Academy in 84, Big Trouble in Little China in 86, Mannequin in 87, Star Trek VI – The Undiscovered Country in 1991. Each role added a new layer to her on-screen versatility, from goofy to glamorous to commanding. Then came Sex and the City in 1998, and suddenly Kim Cattrall was everywhere. She portrayed Samantha from 1998 to 2004, reprising the role in 2 follow-up films in 2008 and 2010. Her fearless energy became a symbol of female liberation and confidence, and fans couldn't get enough. Post-Sex and the City, Kim didn't slow down. From 2014 to 2016, she starred in and executive-produced Sensitive Skin, earning critical praise. Then came roles in Tell Me a Story from 2018 to 2019, Filthy Rich in 2020, Queer as Folk in 2022, and Glamorous in 2023. She even appeared in How I Met Your Father from 2022 to 2023 as the older, wiser version of Sophie. Now 68, Kim Cattrall continues to evolve. Stylish, sharp, and social media savvy, with over 1.6 million Instagram followers who still adore her fierce flair. Whether she's sharing vintage throwbacks or teasing new projects, one thing's clear: Samantha may have closed her chapter, but Kim's story is far from over. Cynthia Nixon as Miranda Hobbs. Cynthia Nixon first stepped into the spotlight on Broadway, making her debut in The Philadelphia Story in 1980. Even before Sex and the City turned her into a household name, Nixon was already an accomplished stage actress. In 1983, she appeared in both The Real Thing and Hurly Burly, 2 major Broadway hits that hinted at the powerhouse she was becoming. She continued building her theater resume with plays like Indiscretions in 1995 and The Women in 2001, balancing elegance and grit with ease. Her big screen journey began in the mid-1980s. In 1984, she played a small yet memorable role in Amadeus, a film that went on to sweep the Oscars. By 2005, she was tackling major political figures, portraying Eleanor Roosevelt in HBO's Warm Springs. Then came Too Big to Fail in 2011, where she played real-life economist Michelle Davis during the 2008 financial crisis. In 2016, she transformed into Nancy Reagan in Killing Reagan, proving she could handle layered biographical roles with grace. Television also remained a stronghold. From 2010 to 2011, she starred in The Big C alongside Laura Linney. In 2020, she took on a darker, edgier role in Wretched, and from 2022 to the present, she's appeared in HBO's historical drama The Gilded Edge. She's now 59 years old and has 1.8 million followers on Instagram. Whether she's fronting political campaigns or slipping into vintage corsets on screen, Nixon continues to evolve, never one to stay still or be boxed in. Kristin Davis as Charlotte York. Meet Charlotte York, the picture of poise, pearls, and perfection. Kristin Davis brought her to life in Sex and the City from 1998 to 2004, delivering charm with a side of unshakable optimism. And fans couldn't get enough. Whether Charlotte was chasing fairy tale love or dishing out unexpected sass, Davis made her one of the most beloved characters on television. But Kristin wasn't new to drama when she entered Carrie Bradshaw's circle. Back in 1995, she shook up Melrose Place as the cunning Brooke Armstrong, a role that proved she could play more than just the sweet girl next door. After wrapping up Sex and the City, she continued riding high with box office hits like The Shaggy Dog and Deck the Halls in 2006, and the tropical rom-com Couples Retreat in 2009. She even ventured into action-adventure with Journey 2, The Mysterious Island in 2012, showing she wasn't afraid to step outside her comfort zone. Fast forward to 2019's Holiday in the Wild, and Davis wasn't just starring, she was also executive producing. By 2021, she pushed into darker territory with Deadly Illusions, a psychological thriller that let her tap into a whole new emotional palette. These days, she's still sipping Cosmos, at least on screen, in And Just Like That, Max's revival series. And while Charlotte may still be chasing perfection, Kristin, now in her dazzling 60s, seems perfectly at peace, balancing acting, motherhood, and a thriving presence on social media, where over 1.8 million fans still follow her every move. No doubt about it, Kristin still got that timeless spark. Chris Noth as Mr. Big. Before he was ever known as Mr. Big, Chris Noth had already made a name for himself on the small screen. Back in 1990, he joined the original cast of Law & Order as Detective Mike Logan. With his street-smart attitude and simmering intensity, Noth became a standout, staying with the series until 1995. He later reprised the role in Law & Order Criminal Intent from 2005 to 2008, proving that Logan still had unfinished business. Then came 1998 and everything changed. Enter Sex and the City, where Chris Noth stepped into the role of Mr. Big, the charming, mysterious, and maddeningly inconsistent love interest of Carrie Bradshaw. His on-again, off-again relationship with her became one of television's most addictive love stories. From 1998 to 2004, and later in both Sex and the City movies, 2008 and 2010, Noth played Big with a quiet charisma that kept fans hooked. In 2021, he returned once more for the reboot, and just like that, though his character's arc came to a shocking end in the first episode. Beyond Big, Chris showed off his dramatic chops in The Good Wife from 2009 to 2016, portraying Peter Florrick, a disgraced governor whose scandal rocked both his career and marriage. The role was darker, messier, and a far cry from his polished Big days. Most recently, he joined The Equalizer reboot in 2021, proving he's still got that commanding screen presence. Now, 70 years old, Chris Noth continues to evolve, no longer just the man in Carrie's life, but a seasoned actor with a legacy of unforgettable roles. David Eigenberg as Steve Brady. Long before he became Miranda Hobbs' lovable bartender-turned-husband, David Eigenberg was steadily carving his path through TV dramas. In the mid-90s, he made his mark with a recurring role on Homicide, Life on the Street, and later showed up in The Practice. Fans of early 2000s sitcoms might also remember his hilarious cameo as the groom in the King of Queens episode Flash Photography. By 2004, David was dipping into the sci-fi world with The 4400, playing Carl Morrissey in The Gripping Pilot. He popped up in everything from ER and Third Watch to Ghost Whisperers, Reigns in 2007, and NCIS in 2008, often taking on intense, emotionally complex roles. Oh, and in case you forgot, yes, that was him voicing Nermal in Garfield the Movie in 2004. But it was in 1999 that David truly found his spotlight, joining Sex and the City as Steve Brady. As the sweet, soft-spoken bartender who captured Miranda's heart, David brought a grounded charm to the glamorous chaos of the show. He returned for both Sex and the City movies in 2008 and 2010, and most recently in the 2022 revival, and just like that, proving Steve's heartwarming awkwardness still has a place in fans' hearts. Now 61, David continues acting and is a mainstay on NBC's hit Chicago Fire as Christopher Herman, a role he's played since 2012. While Steve Brady gave him household name status, David's career proves he's never been a one-role wonder. Evan Handler as Harry Goldenblatt. Meet Evan Handler, who charmed us all as the kind-hearted Harry Goldenblatt, has had a wildly diverse career on both the big and small screens. Before stepping into Sex and the City in the early 2000s, Handler had already racked up impressive credits. He appeared in major TV dramas like Miami Vice in 1987, Law & Order from 1991 to 2009, and Friends in 97, as well as cult favorites like 6 Feet Under in 2001 and The West Wing in 2002. His film journey started even earlier. In 1981, he starred in Taps and The Chosen, followed by Sweet Lorraine in 1987 and Ransom in 1996 alongside Mel Gibson. That same year, Handler took on the role of Larry Fine in The Three Stooges in 2000, showcasing his flair for biopics. He later portrayed real-life Goldman Sachs CEO Lord Blankfein in Too Big to Fail in 2011, a gripping HBO drama based on the financial crisis. From 2007 to 2014, fans loved his role as Charlie Runkle in Californication, where he played the unapologetically bold best friend of Hank Moody. And in 2016, he portrayed Alan Dershowitz in The People vs. O.J. Simpson, a key advisor in the 1995 trial. One unforgettable moment? In 1991, he made headlines after walking off stage mid-performance in Broadway's I Hate Hamlet following a sword-fighting mishap. It wasn't just dramatic, it was legendary. Most recently, he popped up on the George Lucas talk show in 2020. Now 64, Evan Handler continues to stay relevant, reminding us that talent never goes out of style. Willie Garson as Stanford Blatch. Remember the fabulous, quick-witted Stanford Blatch, Carrie Bradshaw's fiercely loyal bestie? That unforgettable role was played by the equally unforgettable Willie Garson, who stole hearts with his quirky charm and unmatched comedic timing. But Garson's talent stretched far beyond Sex and the City. Before and after his iconic turn as Stanford, he made his mark on dozens of hit shows, from a nosy neighbor on Friends to roles on NYPD Blue, Quantum Leap, Monk, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The X-Files, Star Trek Voyager, Ally McBeal, and even Boy Meets World. He played everything from sidekicks to scene stealers. And let's not forget his fan-favorite role as Mozzie in White Collar, where he brought brainy mischief to life. On the big screen, he popped up in cult favorites like There's Something About Mary, Being John Malkovich, Freaky Friday, and Groundhog Day. If there was a movie or show that defined a generation, chances are Willie was in it. In 2021, the world lost this beloved actor far too soon. Willie Garson passed away at the age of 57 after a battle with pancreatic cancer. Jason Lewis as Smith Jerrod. This show gave us one of its most unexpectedly beloved characters, Smith Jerrod, the charming blue-eyed waiter turned rising Hollywood star. And who was behind that role? None other than Jason Lewis. At the time, he wasn't a household name, but all that changed the moment he stepped on screen with that disarming smile and unshakable loyalty to Samantha. But Lewis's journey in front of the camera didn't start there. Rewind to 1995 when he made his acting debut on High Sierra Search and Rescue. By 1997, he'd landed a gig on Beverly Hills 90210 playing Rob Andrews, Valerie's dreamy love interest. Slowly but surely, he was carving out a space in the industry. After Sex and the City wrapped in 2004, Jason's momentum didn't stop. In 2008 and 2010, he reprised his role as Smith in both Sex and the City films, giving fans more of that heartthrob energy. Meanwhile, he made waves in indie films like My Bollywood Bride and played a twisted role in the thriller Mr. Brooks in 2007, starring alongside Demi Moore and Kevin Costner. From TV appearances in How I Met Your Mother in 2010 to leading roles in Textuality in 2011 and the Flowers in the Attic series in 2015, Jason continued to surprise us. Most recently, in 2022, he took a spin on Dancing with the Stars Season 31, still turning heads at 51 years young. Today, at 53, Jason Lewis remains as suave as ever. Aging? Maybe. But fading? Not a chance. Now that's a wrap. From Manhattan's bustling streets to the ever-changing chapters of real life, these stars proved their stories didn't end when the credits rolled. If you love this nostalgic ride, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another blast from the past.